Hey y'all, it's Lacey, and today I'm here doing the Nosy Librarian Tag. This was created by the guys over at Stripped Cover Lit, and I was tagged by Tia and all the books. So let's get started. First question is, what has been the most influential library in your life? And I guess I would have to say my local public library. I don't utilize it as much as I used to, and I need to, but yeah, it's the one that I grew up going to a lot as a kid and as a young adult. Number two, honest assessment. What will they title your biography? And I thought about it for a while, and I think the title of my biography would be Don't Pat Her on the Head. That's coming from a short girl. Number three, the story from your life that you most hope your librarian will never find out. I've always kind of been a rule follower, so I never broke the rules too much, but I think I did take a book out of my high school library that I didn't officially check out and never took it back, because I think I remember seeing it around the house somewhere years later. And also, when I was a freshman in high school, instead of going to lunch, I would always just go to the library and read during my lunch period. And you weren't supposed to eat in the library, but I would always sneak in some little snack to eat and try and hide it from the librarian. I think she came close to catching me a couple of times, but I never really got caught. So maybe those two things. Number four, what is your favorite word? I think the word that I use the most, just in a fun way, is curses. I say that a lot when I'm like, something makes me mad or I forget something or whatever. I'm like, curses. Number five, three weird things you're afraid of and one way you would prefer not to die. So I'm going to answer the way you would prefer not to die question first, and I'm going to steal the same answer that Tia used, and I don't want to die any other way but the natural causes way, when I'm very old and peacefully in my sleep. I don't want to think about any other ways of death. So that's my answer for that one. But the three weird things that I'm afraid of is cans of biscuits, the ones that you twist to open and then they pop. I can't open them. I have to make my husband open them because I don't know what I think is going to happen. I don't know why I can't open them, but I cannot open cans of biscuits without like holding them at arm's length and like just twisting them and just bracing myself for that tiny little pop from the can. And then deep water, like deep ocean water, freaks me out. And floating off into deep space, because that's going to happen. I don't know why I'm afraid of that, because I'm never going to go to space. So I don't know why I would be scared of floating off into deep space, but I am. So those are three fears that I have. One of them, I guess all of them are kind of irrational, except for the deep water. I think that one's a rational fear, but the other two are kind of irrational. Number six, your favorite book as a grade schooler. And when I think of grade school, I'm thinking like kindergarten, first, second grade, maybe even preschool. And my very favorite book as a child when I was really little was Oh, What a Busy Day by Gayo Fujikawa. I've had this book since I was like a baby, and I was just opening it up, and it's been taped, and I think I need to tape it again because the cover is kind of coming apart. But I just love let me see if I can open this without tearing it up. But I just love the artwork in it. The drawings are just they're kind of dated, but they're pretty too. I've always enjoyed looking at this picture book. And then I was always a big fan of Richard Scarry and his books and all his drawings. I love Richard Scarry books. All right. Number 7, what have your interactions with the police been like? Minimal. I have a fear of getting in trouble, so I don't like to draw attention to myself. I have been pulled over a couple of times for speeding, but never gotten a ticket for speeding. The only ticket I've ever received in my life was for expired tags, and that was when I was in college. Number 8, all-time favorite book cover. I don't really have one that really stands out, but I think when I pulled this book out, that I just mentioned, the Oh What a Busy Day, I think this is probably one of my favorite book covers. I just love the drawings of the children, and it continues on the back. But I think this is probably one of my favorite book covers. Number 9, how many places have you lived? Now, if we're going by states, I've lived in 2 states. I was born in Virginia, but we only lived there for 6 months, till I was like 6 months old, and then we moved to North Carolina, which is where I've lived ever since. And if we're going by cities or towns, I've lived in 3 different towns. I was born in Richmond, Virginia, so we lived there very briefly. Then the town where I live now, which I grew up in, from the time, when we moved here till now, I still live in the same town. And then when I went to college, I lived in Boone, North Carolina for 4.5 years while I was in college at App State. And number 10 is Tag 11 Booktubers. This tag has kind of been going around for a while, so I don't know who's done it and who hasn't. But if you're watching this and you haven't done it, consider yourself tagged, and let me know if you do it. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.